like the for each loop container, what we are doing in the for each loop container, we will give the path of a file, and according to our selection, how many files are there which satisfies our condition. So, that many times the for each loop container will execute. Okay, that is for that scenario. But if you want to execute something, if you want to execute some other different thing like multiple times, if I want to use some for each loop container, for we will use a while loop, right? For I not while loop, for loop. What is the normal in the Java? We got one for loop one. What is the for I equal to 0, I less than or equal to 10. I don't know whether it is a correct syntax or not. Then I plus plus. So here what is going to happen? The first I will start from 0, and next the condition it will check for I less than or equal to 10, and it will run for I plus plus. Means it, after that it will increase for each execution, that I will be incremented. So if you want to run any process many times, so then what you are going to do, you are going to use a for each loop container. So for that purpose, what I will do, because I will declare the I value here, variables, I will just add one variable called I, just I will give I. So data type will be integer. Okay, done. Okay, so data type will be integer. Okay, I have closed it. Now what I will do, I will just go to the for each loop container, sorry, for loop container, click on this, click on this. So now init expression, what I want here, I just want to give the I. So what it will be, I will just use that path somewhere, execute process task package, just only for time being. Okay, I will just dax one data flow task. I think we can give at the rate of I, just give at the rate of I equal to, I am assigning the value here, whatever the value it may be here, there you can assign the value here also, at the rate of I equal to 1. Evaluate expression, I want at the rate of I less than or equal to 10, and at the rate of I equal to at the rate of I plus 1. That is it. Now if I run this, what happens? I don't know whether it will run or not, because I am not sure with that at the rate of I, will it work or not. Yeah, it ran. Okay, I just stop it here. So what I am going to do, just click on this. I will give some wait, just see that whether it is running correct or not. So execute SQL task, click on this. I will give some connection here, and I'll ask it delay, wait for delay, right? Wait for delay. The format will be 00, just 2 seconds or 2 seconds. Now we will execute and see. There is no need for us to clear the variable also, I think so. Actually, whatever the variable we are giving, we can delete this variable, delete it, done. There is no need the variable also, just at the rate it is okay. Execute container. Let's see now, because we are given the I equal to 0. Okay, oh, I think we need the variable, sorry. Then we need the variables. I'll just give I, so it is integer. Okay, close it. Now it will be okay. See, yeah, we need to give the variable. Execute this. Yeah, see, you can see here one time 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, 5 time, 6 time, 7 time, 8th time, 9th time, and 10th time. See, so what we are happening, the basic thing is that we have created the variable. The same whatever the variable we have created, you can call it as I at the rate of I. So first I am assigning value to the variable equal to 1, and I am increasing evaluate expression at the rate of 10. Instead of that, I can give the value also in the variables only. I can declare, just go to the variables. I will just add one more variable called x. Okay, x I will give the initial value. I will give the initial value as 1. What I am going to do now? I will add x y. I will add one more called y. So this y will have the 10 value. I want to run the package 10 times, so I will just have 10. That's it. Just I will go here, click on this for each loop container, click on this. See here, I equal to 1, right? So 1 I will just give as x. X is having the 1 value, so at the rate of x. So the 10 value will be at the rate of y. That's it. Instead of the values I can give manually here. So whatever the values I am getting, I am giving the values manually. Okay, that is a one more way you can do that. So I have given x. Normally I will give I equal to 1. So instead of giving 1, I have just given the variable here at the rate of x, and I less than or equal to 10. Instead of giving 10, I have stored the value in y, and I have given at the rate of y. I equal to at the rate of I plus 1. We are going to see that values now by using the breakpoints. So if I run this, so now also the package runs 10 times, because we are given 2 seconds per each one, because we are waiting the execute equal to as 2 seconds, right? See, first time like this, the package will run for 2 times. See, this inside this execute equal to will run for 10 times. Now we can see that I value by keeping one breakpoint, we can see that I value also. Done. I will just stop it. Now what we are going to do, right click on this, edit breakpoints. I want to see the value on post execution, post execute. Okay, now I will just run the package. So what happens, the I value will be incremented now. See, post executed, it will stop here now. In the variables, I can see the variables by default. Go to the debug, Windows, locals. That is because already since I opened, so that's why I can see here. I will just come to the variable at the rate of I. See here. Now the I user I at the rate of I, the value is 1, right? Now I will just start it now. Now you can see automatically the value will be 2 here. So can you see at the rate of I somewhere? At the rate of I. See, the value is 2 now. When I run this, then for the third time I'll have the value as 3. See, I equal to 3, because I am incrementing, right, for each time. See, next I'll have the value as 4. I equal to 4 somewhere. Where is that I? See, I equal to 4. Next I'll have the same way. I'll have I equal to 5. I'll have I equal to 6, because we are able to see that. So that I value is incremented for each time. So in that scenario, you can if you want to increment something, if you want to run the package based on certain conditions, if you want to run the internal one, you can run by using this execute equal task. Sorry, by using the for loop container. The same way, there is a one clear example with the for loop container. You can go and see it here. It's like in depth. It is a for loop, for each loop container. For each loop, where is the for loop? Yeah, you got one in the lesson 14. You can see the for loop container. It's like big thing. It's totally 54 minutes. Okay, it is clearly explained why I use the for loop container. I can explain you like I can explain you now why we use that. Okay, so let's say I am having this. What is the example I am explaining here now? So go and see that video, lesson 14, and then you will be understanding clearly in the other way. I got one folder and I am having some files. I got one more folder, I am having some files. And what is my I need to do? I want to load this folder files into this folder and this folder files into this folder. If I want to move it dynamically, and so what for each loop container does? For each loop container will check for the files in one folder. It will not move for it will not check the files in other folder at the same time. It can check only one folder at a time, right? So for this purpose you use a for loop container. So you will ask the for loop container to run 2 times. For each first time when it runs, you will point to this directory. Second time when you run, you will point to this directory. That's it. Okay. So please see that video. It is a 54 minutes one, and you will be learning a lot of things. But and you can see the expressions also. Okay. So and if you have any doubts, you can ask me tomorrow. So everyone is clear with this for loop one.